my lovely students, how are you all? A very hearty welcome to this mind-blowing platform, Physics Wallah Gulf. My name is Super Sharma and today we are going to do what to do. What to do, what not to do. Exams are approaching, boards are approaching. How should we prepare for that? You cannot start your boards without watching this video, children. Let us start. What are we going to do today? Let us see. See, obviously, you have a huge syllabus and at this time, you need motivation. And from where do you seek motivation? Motivational videos? From TED Talks? Okay? From where should you seek motivation? Just look at this. Push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. Yes, children, nobody else can motivate you. Nobody else can push you but you yourself. There are a lot of students who are under a lot of pressure right now. They are thinking we have so many subjects. We have so many questions to do. We have so many chapters to cover. How are we going to do that? Now this video is going to help you because this video is going to tell you that which syllabus you have to prepare for. I am going to tell you the syllabus and also I am going to give you some additional tips how you have to do that. So your first lesson for today is that you have to seek motivation in yourself. Okay, you always need to push yourself in order to do something good. But you might be saying, ma'am, yes, we do this. Okay, we push ourselves, we give our 100% and okay, we do each and everything, whatever is being said to us, whatever is being told to us, but still we do not score, more and we're not satisfied with the result. So what's the problem? Let me tell you something. Have you heard of this phrase that you should know your enemy well? Yes, students, you should know your enemy well. And you all of you have an enemy. All the students, in fact, all the people in this world have a common enemy. Who is that enemy? Would you like to meet that? Now, that enemy is procrastination. Yes, children. What we do is that we procrastinate. We leave the things on, the next day. We leave the things for the future. For example, we have to study today. Okay, we have to do a lot of numericals in science. We have to practice a lot of questions in maths. But what we do, we just leave it. We think that, okay, the weather is quite good today. Okay, it's really very hot today. It's really very hot today. Let's go out for ice cream or let's take rest. Oh, it's very cold today. Okay, and we should just lie, okay, we should just lie under our blankets and we should not move out of our bed. Okay, sometimes we think that, okay, the weather is very pleasant, we should go out for a walk or something. Okay, my cousins have come to visit me. So what I should do? I should delay my practice. But my kids, practice is really very important for you. Especially when you are in your board exams, especially when you are in your board class, wherein you have to cover a whole lot of subjects. You should not procrastinate. Procrastination is your enemy, and if you know your enemy well, you can fight with your enemy. Okay, so now let's come to the point. What we are going to study, which subjects are going to come in your exam, you're very well aware of that. It's mathematics, it's social studies, and social studies has your history, your political science, your geography, and then English, and then science. Science has your physics, chemistry, and biology. We are going to look in each and every subject. Whichever chapters are coming in your exam, in your board exams, okay, that we are going to talk about, okay? So we are going to start with mathematics, your favorite mathematics. And what does mathematics require? Mathematics requires a lot of practice. Practice makes a man perfect. Practice makes perfect. Make practice perfect. Yes, children, whenever you are talking about maths, your practice should be perfect. Yes, children, because you must remember that when you were learning, initially when you started learning maths, when you were in 2nd, 3rd grade, you started learning multiplication, addition, subtraction. What you used to do? You used to practice 5 sums daily. Your tuition wala didi, your mama, your parents, they used to give you, 5-10 questions daily. So that you can, learn this addition, subtraction, multiplication. Okay, so you used to do that when you were young. But now you have left your practice. Okay, you do not do practice like that. You do not get a page daily wherein, somebody has given you homework that you have to do 5 sums, that you have to do 10 sums. Obviously, children, what you have to do is that you start giving homework to yourself. Okay, self-evaluation, self-realization is really very important. And which chapters are coming in maths? Let's see. Okay, so the first chapter is real numbers, which comes under the topic number systems. Then the second unit is algebra. There you have polynomials, pair of linear equations in 2 variables. Then you have quadratic equations, and then arithmetic progressions. Now under coordinate geometry you have coordinate geometry, and in geometry you have triangles and circles. Now trigonometry, a very interesting topic, trigonometry. When we talk about trigonometry, you have a lot and lots of formulas that you need to learn. And trigonometry, it requires a lot of practice again. Introduction to trigonometry, trigonometric identities, heights and distances. Yes, identities you need to learn. Now if I talk about myself, I'm telling you to practice more and more to be perfect. But when I talk about myself, I was myself very weak in maths. Okay, I could not score very good in mathematics, but I was really very surprised when I got very good marks in my board exams. When I was in class 9th and in my pre-boards, I scored really very less. I just scored 70 out of 100 and something, and I was really not satisfied with my result. But what I did was that I started practicing. At that time I realized, self-evaluation, you self-evaluate yourself. I evaluated myself that in whichever areas I was weak. Okay, so I see now that yes, I'm weak in trigonometry and I was also very weak in mensuration. So what I did was that I started giving homework to myself. I had decided that no matter what happens, I am going to practice at least 15 sums daily, no matter what happens. In fact, I remember that it was my birthday. And on my birthday itself, I did 20 questions. I was like that, okay, firstly I'll, finish my 20 questions and then I'm going to cut my cake. And this was the thing, and that really helped me to score good in my exams. Okay, so then you have mensuration, areas related to circles, surface area and volumes, and then under the unit statistics and probability, you have statistics and probability. Okay, so these are comparatively, quite, these are simpler chapters, but again, it also requires a lot of practice, and you need to read the questions quite carefully, because when we talk about statistics and probability, what we do is, especially under statistics, we do not read the question carefully sometimes, and we do silly mistakes in noting down the questions. So this you do not have to do, and you have to practice and practice. Now let's talk about science. Science full of diagrams, full of formulas, full of all these things. Now how we have to do that? See, obviously when we talk about science, the most important thing is your notes, your diagrams. It is to imagine the thing, imagine the whole working in your mind, because this is quite practical. When we talk about science, everything is present in front of you. You have a lot of visuals to help you. So visuals is the thing that is going to help you in science. And where do you have to take the help of visuals? That is your first unit. Let's talk about your chemistry, your chemical substances, nature and behavior. In your chemistry, you have chapters chemical reactions, acids, bases and salts, metals and non-metals, and carbon compounds. Then you have your biology, world of living. You have 6 chapters here. Life processes, control and coordination, reproduction, heredity and evolution, our environment and management of natural resources. Now when we talk about bio is a topic which interests a lot of children, and bio is sometimes, some children, they consider that, bio is, we have to learn a lot in bio. How should we learn all these things? My suggestion to you is that, children, again I told you that you have to visualize everything. You have to take the help of the visuals. You have to learn diagrams. You have to perfect yourself in making the diagrams. Then only you can excel in your bio. Then let's talk about your physics, reflection of light, refraction, human eye, electricity, magnetic effects of current. Nothing is more practical in that. We love practical things. Human beings love, they love practical examples, and everything is present to you. You are really very gifted. You have, GIFs, you have your YouTube and everything, each and every kind of platform you have, wherein you can watch the 3D models of each and everything, and you can come to know that how does human eye work. I remember when back in our days, we just had books. Okay, we just had books and we just had diagrams and everything, but nowadays we just love, I just enjoy. Sometimes obviously I am an English teacher, but I enjoy when I watch, somebody teaching science, they have 3D models. You have a lot of resources, children, so you should really take full advantage of that, and you should concentrate on this and learning how the world actually works. Okay, now let's come to my subject, that is English. Now, when we talk about English, English is a subject which is, most of the students, they consider it very simple, that ma'am, we do not practice in English, okay. And when we talk about comprehension passages, when we talk about, writing skills, students, they only, attempt these kind of writing skill questions or comprehension passages just, 4 times in a year. When their exams are, in your exam, and when your teacher is doing that, then only you practice your comprehension passage and your writing skills. That is your biggest mistake, children. You need to practice in English as well. Now, you know that English is divided into 3 sections, section A, B and C. When we talk about section A, that is reading skills, reading comprehension passage, discursive passage, you can get a 400 to 450 words, or you can get case-based factual passage as well. Now, when you were little, you used to get, normal passages, but now because you have grown up, you can get, visual input, statistical data and charts, you can get these kind of questions, you can get these kind of passages, and you have to find, passages, you have to infer the meaning of these kind of charts, pie charts you can get, and then you have to form your answers. So what you should do? Should you only do your comprehension passages in your exam? No, you should practice more and more comprehension passages, so in order to reduce the timing. Okay, if you score very good in section A, I know that you score very good in section A, but you need to do it fast. Okay, you need to do it quickly. Okay, set up your stopwatch and see that in how much time do you cover this question. Then you have your section B. Section B has writing skills and grammar. In grammar, you have determiners, tenses, models, subject verb concord and reported speech. You have been doing all these topics from your childhood itself. You have been doing that from class 4. Now is the time to perfect it. Now is the time to master it. That is why we have repeated this formula again, which we did in maths. Make practice perfect. Practice makes perfect. Yes, practice is going to make you perfect. If you, do mistakes in this grammar questions, you do not have to do that. You practice more and more. Just like you practice, maths questions, just like you practice your numericals, you have to practice your grammar as well. Now let's talk about writing skills. Writing a formal letter based on a given situation in 100 to 120 words. 1 out of 2 questions is to be answered. So you get 2 options, okay, wherein you have to write a formal letter. Yes, you get a formal letter. It can be letter to editor. It can be a letter to your, municipal corporation, or it can be a letter to the principal. So these kind of formal letters you have to learn. And the most important tip for writing the letters is format. Yes, children, format is the king, and you have to follow the proper format. Then you have writing an analytical paragraph in 100 to 120 words on given map, chart, graph, cues. 1 out of 2 questions is to be answered. So you are going to get an analytical question. An analytical question, you can get SWOT analysis, you can get pie charts, you can get anything. And from that, you need to infer the data just like you do in your, first reading comprehension passage. But therein you have to find the questions. But therein, here, you need to, write out. So when you are talking about writing skills, just, bring out the writer in yourself and start writing. Okay. Now, let's talk about your topics. So your first book, when we talk about your section C, you have a book, First Flight. First Flight, you have chapters, A Letter to God, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, 2 stories about flying, From the Diary of Annie Frank, Glimpses of India, Mitchell the Author, Madam Rides the Bus, The Sermon at Banaras, and The Proposal. All these chapters are in your First Flight. And children, once you get to know the story very well, once you pick up the most important lines in the chapter, then you can really excel in it. Then in your poems, you have Dust of Snow, Fire and Ice, A Tiger in the Zoo, How to Tell Wild Animals, The Ball poem, Amanda, The Trees, Fog, The Tale of Custard the Dragon, and for Anne Gregory. Poetic devices, name of the author, each and everything is important. You need to learn that very properly. When we talk about the Robert Frost poems, Dust of Snow, Fire and Ice, very small poems though, but they have a deeper meaning. They have a literal meaning. When we talk about the Ball poem, something else is written, something is written, literal meaning is written, but it completely has a different meaning. It has a metaphorical meaning that you need to identify. Now, let's talk about Footprints Without Feet. You have about Triumph of Surgery, The Thief's Story, The Midnight Visitor, A Question of Trust, Footprints Without Feet, The Making of a Scientist, The Necklace, Bholi, and The Book That Saved the Earth. Quite interesting chapters, and you can get double theme questions. Double theme questions when you're talking about these chapters. Yes, children, you need to prepare these chapters very well. You need to identify all the characters in it, all the character sketches of each and every character, and how to relate the characteristics of one chapter with another chapter or with a poem. That you have to learn, that you have to master up the skill, and then you can form perfect answers. Now let's talk about our favorite, social science. Okay, now social science, let's talk about history. In history, you have the rise of nationalism in Europe, the rise of nationalism in India, the making of a global world, the age of industrialization, print culture, and the modern world. History. Now, when we talk about SST, again, the notes are really very important. Your notes that you make, yourself, they are going to help you in your exams. Start making the notes, start practicing the map questions. Map-based questions are really going to help you. And yes, again, your notes are the one that can save you. Because, obviously you have to write in your own language, but you should know the context very well. Now, geography. You have resources and development, forest and wildlife, water resources, agriculture, mineral energy resources, manufacturing industries, and lifelines of national economy. Each and every chapter is really very interesting chapters these have, and they have map-based questions as well. So just look at the maps very carefully. Then you have economics. In economics, you have development, sectors of the Indian economy, money and credit, globalization and the Indian economy, and consumer rights, and it's only for the project. But economics is something that children generally love, because this is really very practical. Again, this is also a very practical chapter, the things that you see in your everyday life. And political science as well, you see all these things in your daily life. You can correlate with it whenever you watch news and everything. You get to know about these subjects, and these really help you. So political science, it has power sharing, federalism, gender, religion and caste, political parties or outcomes of democracy, each and everything. Understanding your society better. These chapters not only help you to score good marks in your exams, they also help you to build up your character, to build up your whole personality. When you learn social science very well, when you are very well versed with social science, that is going to improve your position in the society, very well. So you really need to concentrate on these subjects. And again, I told you, make notes. Okay, make notes, make brilliant notes, and when you make the notes, make sure that you revise those notes in 24 hours only. Because when you revise your notes in 24 hours, then you can learn it, simply, you're only going to take half an hour. But when you, read these notes after a day or after a week or something, then it is going to take more time. So why waste your time? Do not waste your time. You just make notes and try to learn those notes within 24 hours. It is going to save your time. It is going to, leave the habit of procrastination behind. Fight with your enemy and know your enemy very well. I know, children, that you are really very intelligent. You have made your plan. Your goal is set that you have to score good marks in your board exams. But you do it with perfection. Do practice, it is going to make you perfect. Thank you so much, my children. See you in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.